Hello and welcome to PharmaTelevision News Review here at the SACS conference in September 2016 in Basel. On this show, I have Michael Bauer, who's CEO of a company called Cellestia, which is based here in Basel. Welcome.
Yes. Well, thank you for inviting me to the interview. It's my pleasure to be here and give a short introduction on Cellestia Biotech.
Sure.
We're based in Basel, headquarter. The research comes out of Lausanne, the ETH Lausanne, where the Swiss Institute for Experimental Cancer Research is based. And out of this institute, the asset has been developed over the last 15 years and then launched in a company set up in 2014 by the academic founders, Professor Radke and Raj Lehal.
Right. Okay, so you're a private company at the moment.
Yes.
So just tell us a little bit about the focus, because obviously you've got this lead compound, which is CB103. Just let's talk about the science first and why that's been chosen, or Notch has been chosen as a target.
Absolutely. So our lead compound is a Notch pathway inhibitor, which targets this really complex pathway at the conversion point where all the information, all the signaling is converging at the cell nucleus. So it's a selective transcription inhibitor, and it controls the excessive action of Notch in some patients who have this Notch pathway activated, and as a consequence, these patients get cancer.
Right.
Now, the exciting part of that really is that these patients have no treatment option right now. There are some compounds in development, but they act at the periphery, at the complex part of this pathway, and they can only cover part of the pathway. So there's many patients who actually have no targeted treatment option available for them, and we would be the first company to bring this new compound to patients.
And it's a selective transcription.
It is a selective transcription factor. It is not like a general transcription factor blocking DNA synthesis. It's really selective for Notch, exclusively for Notch. And we have quite exciting 3D structural activity relationship information to confirm that. Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about then obviously you've been doing preclinical studies. Tell us a bit more about that. In what animal, and what would actually also importantly, what's your target therapy?
Yeah,
indication.
Absolutely. Basically, Notch plays a role in almost any cancer, but in a fraction of patients. Like in breast cancer, it's between 20 and 50% depending on the different modes of action, and a significant proportion of that is where the Notch pathway is activated, and only our compound will be able to control that. There are also leukemias involved, lung cancer. So many indications are really have subsets of patients where the disease is driven by Notch, and we try to target these also with our diagnostic program, which goes alongside the development. So we have a diagnostic program ongoing to identify patients for our trials.
Yeah. So it's real personalized medicine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, the preclinical studies have been done. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
What species?
We have the typical tox species, rat and dog. We have also the pharmacology studies, the efficacy studies in mouse. It all looks good, and all lights on green to proceed to clinic next year. We also have really exciting data from patient-derived blood samples in childhood leukemia, TALL leukemia, from a collaboration with Children's Hospital in Zurich with Professor Burquin. And through this collaboration, we had access to blood samples from children who died at the age of 3 to 5, and nothing worked. And we can show with our data that our drug, which has single agent activity, selectively killing the leukemic cells, but leaving the remaining blood intact. And what's exciting us most is that in combination with standard of care, chemotherapy standard of care, we see an amazing synergy, a factor 1,000. So if you imagine that about 70% of these patients can be cured by standard chemotherapy, and the remaining 30 who are relapsing or are resistant to treatment do not have this Notch pathway activated. We're really excited that we could actually reach a curative therapy in combination with standard of care with our drug.
Right, which is what's happening more and more these days anyway. Most therapy approaches are combination.
Most are combination.
That concept, So I understand you've raised 3 million
That's
Swiss
correct.
francs, presumably.
Yeah, Swiss francs, about 3 million private equity raised. Half of our investors are qualified investors, meaning qualified in the sense of pharma executives, so they know the field. We have other investors who are, of course, qualified in their subject matter, but they have no pharma experience, so they have hired consultants to check the project or trusted some of our investors who are actually experts in the field. So we're really proud that we have a well-informed shareholder base who also serves as a sounding board and advises
And
to
support
us.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically.
Yeah.
And then the next, obviously 3 million only gets you a certain way.
That's right, yes.
So what's your plans to raise further finance?
We're now looking to raise about 10 million to sponsor the clinical program, which is going to be launched in spring next year. So we have already initiated contacts to family offices, to venture capital firms, but also pharma companies. Some have like an investment arm, corporate venture, but also looking at opportunities to partner with pharma, because again, in the end of the day, we want to develop the drug to a really robust, solid proof of concept, phase 2, and then enter a partnership with pharma, because as a biotech, we don't think we are the right people to make a commercial launch worldwide. You know, this is a different scale of things.
It's a proven business model.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All you need is a good molecule to do great things in clinic, and everything will roll through. And it is a very interesting program that you're taking on, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, that's it. I'd like to thank you very much, Lee, for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to come along, and nice meeting you. Thank you.
Cheers.
PharmaVentures, experts in deals and alliances.